Okay, battle. Britain. Make that Britain. Human control, human buy, human deploy. May 1940. 25. 15. Custom map as designed. Okay, everything else is player 1 is Germany, player 2 is Britain. May 1940, visibly 25, links 15, custom map as designed. Okay, so let's see what we get here. Fingers crossed, and nope, it's a random map. Well, okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. So I'm going to go with this. As long as it is 90 at the end of the battle, that's fine. I can live with that. Yeah, so there's things to be figured out. It worked one time off stream. It's funny how that works, isn't it? When you're streaming it, it doesn't seem to work right. Well, it's actually very low value. Not really worth fighting over, actually. And it's a ridiculously open map for an infantry only battle. I just love those. Okay, so we're gonna go with this because there's no point trying to figure it out now. I'll have to do that off stream. So let's just look around. This is let's check the mission. Germany versus Britain. Date is 540. Time is 1200, and the length is 15. Oh wow, location is Dunkirk. Interesting. It does change. Well, well, I mean, there was more than one place where they fought, so it's not just a simple table. There's some randomness involved. But that is the May 1940. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is the tricky thing, is getting these things to work right. And the reason it's tricky is because, like I say, it's just poor software design. It doesn't, like, if these values were saved and easily recovered, say, I want to play this battle over again, or the battle with these settings over again, that would be very helpful. So let's look at the map. Well, at least it's not a points per turn map. When it's not points per turn, that's fine. So that's all we're worrying about. And very low points value, not actually going to be not going to be worthwhile fighting over. But let's just zoom out, have a look around. Map appears to be very open, but we have a lot of height 1 areas in it, so that can actually be helpful. Because height 1 cuts off line of sight. It's like, I guess tall is like, I don't know why it would cut off line of sight, to be honest. I mean, if I guess anything above 0 cuts line of sight is how the game works. I mean, so even though it's open, there is places to advance, and it actually is not too bad. Now, Germany will start on this side. So how far back could we be starting? So the middle of the map is at 49. And then the start line is at most 12 hexes from that. Oops. So if it was in a straight line, it would cut through there, but it's never in a straight line. So now I don't know where the game decides that it's going to. How is this how it actually calculates it? I don't know. I mean, this is something that would be actually be helpful to know, because you apparently get this random start line, but it's lined up. Okay, the start line is never closer together than the visibility in a random map. So the closest I can start is 59 in. If it was going a straight line, can't guarantee that it would actually be in that position though. Anyway, so we're starting about here. We may start a little bit. We may start further forward. May start further back. That's the average case where it would be starting from. It's not bad for the German side. We've got nice tree covered up on this side. The victory X's are in the middle though, so we'd be moving up through here probably to try and get to that. There's no height ones on this side, so no, I don't think we'd be moving up. Well, the most victory points is for the most points is in the middle of the map. So I mean, so this is where there's a cluster. The two clusters very close together in the middle of the map. So probably attacking from that direction and that direction, and probably trying to hold this high ground here. With machine guns, possibly. The main problem for the guys moving up on this side is they'll be completely in the open. They're not going to make it very far, and moving up through trees is not fast, so they'll be slowed down quite a lot. So I said it would be about there, right? Well, so definitely we could start in there and in there. That's a bit far back, I think. That's a bit far back. So anyway, the rifle company will attack towards that. Now, how to fill out the rest of the line is the question. I can't avoid taking tanks here because Britain has decent tanks. The cruiser tank is a good tank. It's good enough. It's probably might even be better than I'd say it's probably equal. I mean, the tanks that came out of the 1930s were all about equal, even though they were different designs. None of them were really outstanding. It's the good tanks only really started appearing later in World War II, because then they learned things about how stuff should actually be done rather than theoretical ideas, theoretical designs. The side's very open. Okay, so what could we do? What's cheap? That's really what it comes down to. I mean, I'm looking at these motorcycle platoons. They're 54 points. That's pretty cheap. These are rifle units. We can also get the motorcycle LMG platoon is more expensive, obviously, because it's LMG. So, but that's only two. That's only two, right? That is a smaller. It's less expensive than a rifle, and a rifle platoon. but you're getting a hell of a lot more. Right? A rifle platoon has a lot more firepower, but it doesn't have mobility. So I think that's but that's what I'm going to need in this side. Some mobility. Now Britain doesn't have cavalry at this point. They're, like the cavalry is all motorized at this point. Well, for the stuff that we can buy here, anyway. I'm sure they have a specialized units that was still mounted, but not here, not in Western Europe. So, right. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna go with the usual rifle company. Or do I want to do that? Let's see. Do I want to change that? It's probably time to consider that actually. Because the thing is, can I get enough? Should I just go with one platoon or two platoons to try and move up to the center? Because actually, it's not really worth that much. You know, these are 90. There's only 90 points in the 90 points each. What the hell is it? Yeah, it's not a lot of points. It's just not a lot of points. Actually, these are already close to those, so. But they're in the open. All the Victory X's are in the open. It's not a single one that's in any sort of cover at all. Okay, well, that is a possibility. Not going with the full platoon. Not going with the full company. Let's see what that looks like. So instead of getting a full platoon, we'll go with two rifle companies. Well, actually, do I even want rifle companies? Because given the open nature of this map, something more mobile is probably going to be more helpful. Now, cavalry is 72 points. That's actually quite expensive. Oh, and they're not elite units. They're only average recon. Now why are they why are they cheaper? Actually, I mean they're well equipped. It's you know they have rifles and they have every squad has an LMG, so but the main problem I find with them is in the one time I've used them so far is that they die rather easily. If they're not moving around very fast, they're just easy kills. Easy kills. They really need their speed to help avoid being hit. If they do take a hit when if they do take a hit at then because they're such large targets, they tend to get cut down, and so they take a lot of casualties. But it's harder to hit them when they're moving fast. If they're moving slowly, they're really easy targets. So you can't really use them like infantry. which means you can't really use them to hold ground. They have to be moving. They have to keep moving all the time, or attacking and then withdrawing into cover very quickly, and then attacking again and then withdrawing and so on. You can't. They can't hold ground, and so this becomes a difficult thing. To see how you would balance that. So I'm thinking, because it's actually not that close together now that I look at it on the map. Yeah, so they're not that close together. So I'm trying to see if I can move a company in this area, because the thing is I don't know how far back I'm going to start here, right? I mean, at the worst case is I'm starting here, or even worse, I could be starting really far back here. That's the worst case. So it's kind of difficult to predict whether you can move, whether I could move a company through here fast enough to be able to get them up there. But again, 1,000 points doesn't go very far, and this is the problem. Like I look at the options, and because it just gets, it just takes too long. I get tired of it, and I just go with what I know. And when it's not working all the time. That's the problem. You just can't do that. So other options for the rifle company. I mean, we have SS Panzer Grenadiers. I don't think they would be. They are elite units. Way too expensive. I mean, look at that. It's 980 points for Panzer Grenadier Company, 536 points. You get a hell of a lot of shit with it, though. I mean, you get a lot of half tracks, and there's an armored half track, an armed half track, which is a 251/10. It's armed with a 37mm Pak 36. It's not bad when it comes down to it. So you're getting a hell of a lot of firepower there, but it's 536 points. It's kind of hard to justify in a 1,000 point battle. Now, I think Britain probably is not as cheap as inexpensive. The British units are not as inexpensive as some of the other Allied units in 1940. So these forces may not be that big. The Britain side may not be that large, but I mean that's kind of hoping more than anything else. May not actually be may not be what happens. Can't decide here. I mean, we're actually moving pretty far in the open here. Now, I don't see Germany being able to start very far forward here. Okay, we have a height 1 orchard here, which actually will help. So we could start back here, move up to there. Yeah, okay. So some infantry could definitely move up this way. But what's going to advance in front of them? That's probably more to the point. So instead of going with a full company, let's say we're bringing up a platoon there. So there's still 3 platoons of infantry to arrive later. So what do we get? If we look at that, we just take the 3 platoons. It doesn't save a lot of points, though. That's the problem. It doesn't save as much points as you would expect. Mainly because the only things you're not getting is the support side, which you still have to buy buy later. So that kind of messes it up. But anyway, let's just go down this road. Let's go down this rabbit hole and see where see whether we run into any red queens. And okay, so now the thing is, now we don't have any LMGs. We don't have anything to go along with them. So let's not do it that way. So we're gonna group them together so I can understand what I'm trying to do here. Just for the only reason, otherwise it's really quite difficult. So they're gonna need recon. So let's just get that. We'll go with 2-man scouts because they're cheap and we need all the points we can get. So we'll go with 2-man scouts. Okay, so that's basic stuff. Now they're gonna need an LMG section to move with them, or a heavy MG. I don't know. Heavy MG is 32 points. The LMG section is 18. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the heavy MG. Okay, so now this comes up. This is they would probably be in advance of these guys because they'd be slow. So what arrives before them? That's really what I need to look at. So we're gonna go really experimental here. I think it's time to try stuff because what I've been doing is gotten really comfortable. But it's reached the point where it's not working right. It's not working enough for the times that I can say, yeah, I think I know what I'm doing. So we're gonna need some fast recon in front of them, but they can't be too expensive. So possibly motorcycle platoon. Maybe one of those. That's a recon. Because these could move out in front and try and take the victory axes early and try and occupy some ground. And we'll give them the LMG. So they would actually be in front. These guys would be coming up behind. And then, of course, they can support them later, as part of the mobile to provide some mobility. Because these guys will be slow. Like they're just going to take too long to get anywhere. So I need some way to advance more quickly. And that's what I can come up with as cheap. We're at 500. We have 552 points left. So if I duplicate that. Because I'm thinking, so one of those will advance through there, one group will advance that way, and one group will advance that way. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how the points works out. Because I may just have to thrash it and start over again. So we go back to infantry. Oh, it's just a motor rifle platoon. It's only trucks though, and that's. Don't know. Do you actually get enough trucks with that? That is the question. They can carry 6, so that one can carry Zufira. The Blitz can carry 12 men and can tow things. Yep, so he can carry all of those. Okay, you actually get enough vehicles. Alright, that's handy to know. But 124 points is kind of expensive. So we're going to just duplicate that. Again, another rifle platoon. Some scouts. We get the 2-man. We'll get heavy machine gun. Well, just trying to see how this will work. This will balance out how many points this will result in. So back to miscellaneous, motorcycle platoon, one of those, and then the motorcycle LMG platoon, one of those. We're gonna do that again. Just duplicate it. Scouts. Heavy MG. Okay, now the points have disappeared very, very rapidly. So obviously I've gone overboard here. Cannot do this. This is too many. Yeah, because I'm down to 156 points now. So yeah, 1,000 points does not go very far for the Germans at all. And that's it. That's the entire force, which is not helpful at all. Okay, so let's get. Can't do that. That's excessive. It looks nice. um, hmm. Hmm. Okay, back to the map. So, how are we gonna do this? So my plan was okay, a platoon could advance to year to try and take these, but how are they gonna hold it? Right, it's out in the open. How would one platoon defend that? I can't see it. Yeah, Jeopardy music is required here, I think. Sounds of Thomas Brain working. That would be more like grinding gears, I think. Um, uh, these open maps are so anti small battle group. That these open maps are so such a huge pain in the ass for a small battle group. Don't know. So the thing is, I'm probably being excessive with too many heavy MGs. So because that is quite a lot of points. So let's try using LMGs instead. They're adequate, but they're not very robust. um, they do tend to it's a 3-man squad, and that they do tend to die fairly quickly. So I don't think that would save me enough points, though, unfortunately. Yes, let's try that again. They need scouts. LNG. And scouts. So one platoon would move up through here, one would move up through here. One would actually follow on to whoever is going to take those first. So these guys could probably move. I don't know. The real problem is getting you a second advance fast enough. So my idea was using LMG units. Actually, the motorcycle rifle platoon is probably adequate, but they don't have well, they're not actually. They don't really have much. Then they're only the size of a man though. The thing is, they don't have any LMGs, so it's very awkward because that means they don't have anything that can support them. They don't have any machine guns. That's critical. They have to have something that can provide support, covering fire from a distance. Which is why, adding the LMG units is what makes sense. And the weird thing about the German armored cars is they're all elite units. It's like, what? How the hell does that work? Great. I mean, you're getting really good units, but you're just not getting a lot. I'm wondering. Actually, sometimes. I wonder if how much testing was done with advanced in the enhanced mod with point values. What's the lowest point range they used? Given that there was probably a lot of experienced players testing it, they were probably using 2,500 points, probably about in average, I would think. I mean, they probably wouldn't using anything below 2,000. Experienced players don't bother. So I'm wondering if that's part of the problem, is that the costing is not working out. Thing is, of course, the way the game's designed, all the costs for units are fixed, which is not useful. So we have this huge variation in how how you can design a battle. You can use any point value that you would like. It's down to 100 points, a couple of 100 points if you want. I don't think that'd be absolutely useless. I think 800 points is probably the minimum you want to go, from what I've seen. But is the way the game's designed with the static points, it gets really difficult at that level in a mod that's designed to be historically balanced in terms of cost. So I doubt I doubt that it was tested at that level. I have a kind kind of a suspicion that it was not, because it just doesn't fit. The numbers just don't work out for small battles, especially for the Germans. So it's like 210, 11 points. Now, if they were like average recon force, that would probably be, because that means 10%. So that would probably be like 20 points less. So, which is not a small amount. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. See, I'm kind of going back to what I've done before. It does work to a certain extent. It's mainly the main problem is in the all right. So if we go with the rifle, if we go with the company again, back to that, and we put it in scouts. So this is standard stuff. We need 3 of those, 1 for each platoon. Still get that. We're gonna go with a heavy MG for the entire company. Because they have an LMG in the support side. So now this will attack around here. 1 platoon will move up through these trees. 1 platoon will move up through here. 1 platoon will try to advance over this hill. They all converge on these ones. They're not gonna split them up. The support platoon will move up onto the hill to try and cover that area. The heavy machine guns would probably try to move into here as well, because a good field of fire. Tricky to get them into those positions though, because I doubt I'll be able to deploy them there. Now, 347 points left. No, this is where I usually take my artillery. 2 mortar sections. And a forward observer, who doesn't get used as a forward observer. It's better if he could see, and I try to set up that way, but maps don't always allow it. Now this one might. I think he'd still need to move though. The thing is, they are an elite recon unit, so using them that way is probably a good idea. But losing your forward observer team is not a good idea. So that's why I tend to keep them back. I value their ability to call in artillery very quickly, more than their recon ability, because they usually have pretty good artillery rating. Well, they should. They ought to. They're supposed to. I mean, that's what a forward observer is supposed to do, but they don't always. Sometimes they're abysmal. I think it mostly depends on the nation. Some nations just had terrible forward observers. I don't know why. Might just be a thing in the game. I don't know why. I'm not really sure. But it does occur where your forward observer is just useless. You might as well use the A0 unit to call in the artillery, which is kind of scary and weird. But anyway, so now we're down to like 190 points, right? But that's so. What can you do with 190 points is the question. Now deciding the platoon is attacking basically around this hill to try and advance to the victory X's year and year. I don't know whether we'd be able to get to that one. Now, we'd like to advance to these victory X's year. Doesn't seem gonna be that easy. We're probably starting quite far back, so we need something that will be able to get up there very quickly. Try and take them early. Now, the only thing I can come up with is the motorcycles. and of course there's the cavalry. I mean, there's that possibility as well. So let's have a look at that. Cavalry of 72 points. They actually 4-man or 4 sections. They equip with rifles, hand grenades, and LMG. So that makes them pretty good. However, they're size 2 and they need to be kept moving. And then these guys, well, because they're more encumbered, I think they're not really as fast as some cavalry. Because they counter. I mean, each section has an LMG, so they must be carrying a lot more ammo. How much ammo does the LMG get? 60. That's a lot. Okay, well, that's 72 points. We have engineers. No, well, there's motorized. We have engineers. Trying to figure out how to get. I mean, if I could figure out how to get them to the front quickly, that would make them useful. Like these guys are probably useful in that regard because they come equipped with trucks, but then the trucks are useless afterwards, right? Because then they have to be withdrawn. Don't know. Okay, so I don't know. As usual. Let's see what this looks like. LNG. Oh. So 1 rifle platoon. 1 LMG motorcycle platoon. So what are we at points wise? 70 points. No, this is not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not going to work. So best I could do, because that leaves me with some armor to try and stuff in there somehow. I'm just not getting it. I'm just not able to come up with something that would seem to work. And as I said, Britain has access to. We could probably expect 2 cruiser tanks. I think they're not expensive, unlike German armor. So even if you look in here, we can't even afford a 38T, which I think we will need against the cruiser. I think I used the 35T against them before. In the Germany versus Norway battle, but I can't even afford that. So that's right there. This purchase is not working out. Is not working out. Now, the disadvantage here is that if I get rid of this, if I don't take the company, then I don't have the support units here, which is organic unit. Like these mortars are organic, so you don't have to spend any extra points on them, right? And there's no extra points available. I mean, there's the 2. What did I do? Oh, what the fuck? I picked the wrong shit. Okay, now that's probably fucked up the points quite badly. What the hell was I doing? that changes things a little bit. Actually, I have now 50 more points. Almost. Okay, yeah, I picked this. What was this? No, was it the self-propelled battery? Yeah. Yeah, I picked the off tracks with no motor. So self-propelled motors. Um, yeah. Oh, that was bad. That was. How did I? It took me forever to to notice that. Uh, yeah. Okay. Not paying attention. Not paying attention. Well, let's see. So now, fixing that problem. Uh, let's go back to the motorcycle. So, because it shouldn't be that bad. These units are cheaper than what I normally get. Now, this is the two of these things together is costing more than a normal platoon, though. So, I have 122 points. So, just out of curiosity, if I went with 38T, which is a slightly better tank. In real life, it was a slightly better tank, not much. In the game, it's actually noticeably better because the range on the 37 millimeter is much better. It's like 50% more, I think. No, 30% more. Which I guess is mainly a result of optics. I don't think they have a different gun. No, they do have a different gun. Okay, so it might actually be the gun that's doing it. Might actually be the gun itself. Or a combination, who knows. So anyway, 38T. This is only 38 points. And now these are recon, so that's fine. Yeah, but it's just not able to fill out that line, right? See, my worry here is that it's like, how do you counter those two cruiser tanks? That is, how the hell do you counter the two cruiser tanks? I mean, the cruiser tanks have really quite good armor, so they actually are matched by anti-tank rifles. They won't work on it. So you're gonna need some armored support just to cover that. I don't see I can avoid it against the British. So basically, you're looking at a small, tiny force, like a really, really tiny force moving up on this side of the map here, which isn't gonna work out. It's not gonna work out. So only way I can get more points, the only way I can squeeze more points out of this. Back up list. There's no, so there's actually, no, well, don't bother with that. We'll take 3 rifle platoons. That's the same amount of firepower as the company. We'll take the scouts to go with them. Scouts, here we go, scouts. They're still going to operate together as a company, but we saved a few points because they're not going to have as much artillery. So that may be a problem. That may be a problem. So I'll give them a heavy MG now. They're not going to have, again, they're gonna be traveling a bit lighter than usual. They're not going to have as much support. Um, so to cover that, we might give each platoon an LMG. Now the problem is, the artillery, like a light mortar platoon is 45 points. Um, the medium mortars are 42, so you can only get 2 of them. You can only get, the only way you can get more is to buy the artillery at the end and see if you can make it work out. So I might try to do that. Let's see. So these guys are moving up on, again, the same as the company did. They're gonna work together. So one platoon will move up through here, one platoon will move up through here, the other one will move across here to take up a position that they can shoot at that out here to provide covering fire, I think. Well, most of the victory X's are in the center, so that's why I want to dedicate as much effort to that side as possible. But you need to defend this side. Now, I said there was possibility of... What did I say? Was years 60? No, okay, it's a possibility of... maybe I could just get away with anti-tank guns. You can't move them around. 37 millimeter shit though. That's it. That's all we can get. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's 1940 though. Tanks had already reached the point where there was the existing anti-tank guns were struggling to do stuff. That might work because I might be able to deploy them back here. Now they don't count as artillery though. They don't count it. The anti-tank guns don't count as artillery, whereas as the howitzers do. Yeah, of course, the other thing we're missing is anti-tank capability here. Given the type of tanks that we're likely to be facing, I don't think we can actually have much chance. Like the anti-tank rifles are not very good against them unless he goes with half armored cars. Unless like consider this is a solo game, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with the British yet. I mean so this is probably something that's gonna be done some other time. Maybe we'll see. Guys, this is taking long enough. There's no deployment after this. I mean, the next step is just British unit purchase. So, Now, I mean, that leaves a hell of a lot of points. The thing is, what I'm trying to figure is how to get units across the air to try and take these ones. Now, I realize they're not worth that much, but I mean, the whole point is to get used to advancing in the open. Like you have to keep attacking, right? You can't just because they're just because they're low value doesn't mean you shouldn't advance. You have to make contact with the enemy, so you can understand what they're doing. So we need something that's fast. So I'm thinking. Well, the theory was, the motorcycle, one motorcycle rifle platoon, one motorcycle LNG platoon, with some armor coming up later. Now they might expand that. So we're at 300 points now. So we may expand that to take 2 rifle. And an LMG. Now 246 points. Now that would not be enough to hold this side. They might be able to advance up to it, but again, they're mobile units, so they have to keep moving. So something has to come up behind them to hold that, which implies another infantry company. So that's probably a bit too much. Now they're gonna need their own scouts because these guys will be way too far in front. So, so they're gonna need their own scouts. We're way down to 140 points. Okay, I haven't bought my artillery yet, so this is bad. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. We might pull that back and actually put 1 LNG. So these guys are these are the advanced units on the south side, because I need something that can get very far. We give them an LNG as well, just for extra firepower. Another possibility is cavalry company, cavalry platoon. Right, so then we go back to infantry and rifle platoon. So I need to bring something up that can hold the ground, and that's infantry's job. They're the best at it. Oops, I don't want that. Yeah, I want all 2-man. Oops. What? Okay, there we go. So what are we at? 194 points. That's a little better. And I think we'll probably bring armor up behind them. I'm tempted, but probably not gonna do it. Or maybe I will. Let's see. Mach 3, 100 points. Max out what's name. Alternate possibility is to go with a weaker tank. That's 76 points, and try and find something in the armored cars that could work. I don't think so though. Or possibly a light tank Now that's a possibility. That's 76 points. No. No. Nope, 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 nope. It's too expensive. uh, that's the cheapest German main battle tank you can get in 1940. The 35T. Wonder how much. Why? Oh no, 35T was retired in 1940. By 1942 was gone. No, I think by 1941 it was gone. I'm pretty sure the 38T was gone by 1942. So on the Eastern Front it was completely inadequate. Um, so you shouldn't even be able to get it past 1942. But that's the thing is I was thinking maybe I could add some armored cars or something. But the thing is, they're all elite. This is what's so annoying. Is like all of the armored car sections are elite units. So I only have 26. What? No, 24 points. So there's no way I can do that. It's impossible. It's impossible. These are things you could get when you have a lot more points to throw at it. Stug 3B. So you may as well consider. Well, we'll go with 35T for now and see how the artillery works out because that's what's next. So we're going to go with 2 mortars. Now that's 84 points. We only have 34 points left. Can I even afford the 4 observer? Yep. Okay, so we got 13 points left. So we might be able to squeeze out a 38T from that. And that's it. I'm now short on artillery. And given what happened in the last battle, I'd say no, it's a bit of a problem. Now, I can probably shorten it down a bit. I mean, I can reduce it. I can reduce these to say single heavy MG to support that group because we can easily come up on this side of the map. Now, we don't have any MGs on this side, although I guess the motorcycle LMGs could do that job. 13 points. So just out of curiosity, if I go for the light mortar, how many does I actually get? I only get the Zofir. Well, that's utterly useless. I thought I might actually get one of them. So I'm gonna have to reduce this just to get some light mortar out of it. Okay, so let's see. Infantry, LMG. Has 420 points left. I go with the heavy MG. Okay, that ends up being significantly more difficult. Thing is, they shorten on machine guns. Then they would there's less machine guns in the area than they would normally have. So probably a better option is to take one light machine gun section, because that kind of balances it out. And the heavy machine gun section. So the only thing we're missing is the anti-tank rifles and the mortars. And honestly, the mortars are probably more useful. Okay, that's the attacking force for the north. For the south, we're going for something fast. Motorcycle platoon. Motorcycle LNG platoon. And that's the advanced group. The guys that come up behind them is a rifle platoon and some scouts to provide support. Now they're gonna need heavy machine guns, so possibly in heavy MG. But then that's not gonna help. Well, they'll have armor close to them. Well, they're gonna be supported by armor, so we'll assume that that's gonna help. So if I put the armor in now, I'm gonna go with 38T this time. I would love to go for the Panzer, the Mark III. It's a way better tank, but budgets. Alright, so now we have 108, slightly better than we were before. So let's go to artillery, mortars. What? Oh, alright, because I took the 38T. Yeah, see, what I'm worried about here is that you'd end up with not enough artillery. Really might end up with not enough artillery here. Observer. Because that's it, that's all you can get. So really cannot do that. Can't get a 38T. Has to be a 35. Oops. Damn it. Remembered that. Sometimes it does remember things you've done before, and then it catches you off guard, because most of the game doesn't remember anything you do. Every time you set up a random battle, you have to set everything again. It doesn't remember any of those settings you used from the last time. So I had to set up the same battle like maybe 8 times so far this evening. I had to do the same settings over and over and over again. It would be really nice if it remembered those, but no. But in weird places like this, it does. It's just so inconsistent. Like I said, poor UI design. I've come to expect that from SSI's games. Okay, so let's go back to artillery, mortars. I have 32 points this time. I'm still not gonna be enough. It's still not gonna be enough because the Fort Observer is just too costly. Yeah, only enough with 11 points. I don't know how to make this work. I just don't know how to make this work. No matter what I do, I just I can't squeeze enough points out of it. Now this is a lot more. I'm providing a lot more support on this on the weaker flank, so to speak. But I've sacrificed artillery. I don't have the light I don't have the light mortars anymore. And if in the worst case you don't get much much ammo in these, as we've seen, as can happen, where you get absolutely abysmal amounts of ammo. I think in the two-player game, it was the current play-by email. It was two full salvos. That's all I got, and then a bit of scraps. Two full salvos, and you have some you can fire at things that if they get really close. But that's not much. It's not much when you're trying to support an attack, right? So that's the worst case. Is the things you choose here can really come back to bite you later on. Now, could I get rid of that or that? Because these guys are traveling a bit lighter. Maybe cut that to an LMG one instead of a tripod mount MG. Almost as good, not quite. These things are really, really stupidly accurate. Assuming everything else is, assuming this section has adequate experience. So I'd actually rather get rid of the LMG, but I don't know if that's worth it. I'm really feeling like I'm gonna miss the mortars more than anything else. No. Nope, cannot get one of those. So actually, well, since this is only a solo game, I'm actually going to go with this section 38T. And I think this will work. Oh, artillery, yeah. Might as well go with the better tank then. And forward observer. And we'll see how that works out, because it could go really badly. Could go really badly. Now, it's annoying because, like, on the British side, for example, when you buy a platoon, it's much more balanced. Like, the Germans decided that it would be better to have a support platoon. The thing is, this is what I'm worried about. It's like I'm really worried I'm going to run out of artillery. Especially if this is not very good. Oh, there's just not enough points left. This is what it comes down to. Let's see, light mortar. Well, we have to take into account we have to include that because there's no way to turn it off. That is 13 points. That is 17. So it's 20. Yeah, it's already over. Is the annoying thing is you can't get a separate light mortar. Because this is pushing us. It's pushing us over the points. I mean, two of these plus one of those pushes you over the 100-point limit. Um, and now, if you bought, yeah, that's the advantage of the company, as I've said repeatedly. The advantage of the company is the support platoon. You get light mortars, you get LMGs in it, but of course that costs you more points, and so you kind of have to then figure out how you going to build up the rest of this. Like this is now a little bit more balanced for this map, except in the artillery department, and that really worries me. So I think what I'm going to do is probably pull that LMG out, rather take the heavy MG. It does create a problem for this group because they're not going to have that kind of firepower they would have had if in a company. But maybe we'll just find out how bad that is. So we'll do this. The annoying thing is, I think I probably will try and take a medium mortar instead if I can get the squeeze the points out. Oops, I went too far. Rather than a light mortar because there's no Zugführer in it, so you don't get it's not an extra expense for no purpose, right? So we're gonna go with a heavy MG. Just for some range, and then we're going to go with back to infantry, rifle platoon, some scouts to support them. Okay, and armor to bring up, and armor to support them. An armor to support that flank, because we're gonna need armor, I think. Yeah, we'll go with 38T. It'll have to do. And then we'll take. Okay, so now we're at the artillery. Mortar sections. 4 observer. Let's see, can we get 1 mortar tube? Nope. Oh, that's because it's the wrong one. Yay, I clicked the wrong one again. Yep, I can get an extra tube. And it leaves me with 12 points. 12 points. 12 points. 12 points. Kubelwagen MG again? Seriously, it's my go-to utility. This thing is so useful, I found. Problem is, I don't think I can get a full. Nope, I can only get 2. Yeah, I can get 2. It's not a full platoon. Yeah, because this thing has proven to be quite useful. Well, in the last battle, not so much, but I think that's mainly because I only had one of them. I think they're much more effective when you have at least two, maybe. Um, so, but actually, you might not bother getting them in the platoon. Just get them as a separate thing. Yep. Let's get them as two separate ones. Now, this is a little trick is that because you're not allowed to you're not able to pick out individual. You have to pick formations. So for the Germans, the mortars are available only in sections of two tubes. Um, but if you buy a section or buy a formation with that where you don't have enough points to get the whole formation, it'll give you as much as you can. It'll give you as many full components of that formation, and then when the points run out, you can't get any more, but you may still have points left over, as I've just demonstrated here. So that's a useful way to get extra stuff out of it. Now I really should check to make sure that this is not overpriced, because that could be a problem. I'm trying to. I mean, it's a solo game, but I'm trying to stick to the rules of the play by email, because those limits are. There's some things you have to live with. You have to get used to them. So saying, well, it's only a solo game, so I don't need to worry about it. But then if you don't get used to sticking within those limits, then it becomes a little easier to cheat when you're in the two-play game, and then cheating's not helpful. It it it, it really takes away. I mean, the game requires a lot of trust because it's very easy to cheat in the game. Very, very easy, I think. Um, so, I mean, the easiest way is to unpack um, the files as many times as you need to get the result you want. No, nobody would be able to tell from that because there's nothing. There's a counter in the file. There's a counter that indicates how many times you um, reloaded it. But if you unpack it again, overwrite the current files with the turn that the opponent gave you, then he's not going to be able to tell because that information is lost. So yeah, there's a hell of a lot of trust involved, and if you're gonna you know not be a trustworthy opponent, eventually you'll find that nobody will play with you because then the way they'll realize it is an experienced player will realize that you're probably cheating by the fact that you'd never walk into their traps, right? I mean, it gets pretty obvious after a while. So you just wouldn't be able to get away with it forever, and especially against an inexperienced opponent, they will catch that out very quickly. It's like, well, how did you avoid my minefield? How you always avoid my minefields? How is that possible? uh, really lucky? Yeah, sure. Um, now this mortar. Let's just check. Take that out. Infantry. Now we have 33 points left. It's cost. Now they cost half of that. So actually, they'll cost half of that. So it'll be 22 points. Okay, I think I'm over. So even one tube is over. Fucking hell. There's actually no way for me to get an additional artillery piece for cheap. Because those are 42 points, so that's 84 points. So you're only left with 26 points, right? And off of that is 21 points. Oh no, that's within the limit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I have 26 points left over. and that's 41 points. One tube is 41 points. Yep. No, 21 points. So it's, yeah, that works out. That works out. Yep. Okay, so cool wagons, here we come! Yay! Because why not? It's proven to be quite useful. I honestly, it really has. That when it's so useful that when this thing failed in the last battle, it's like, fuck, I wish I had more of these. Really, because you know, because at that point it's useless. It just becomes a regular Kubelwagen, well, a more expensive Kubelwagen, because the regular one's only 4 points. So, but wish I could afford the full platoon. I mean, that would be really nice, but we have to, budgets are budgets. So there you go. That's what I'm going to go with for this battle. We'll see how it works out. That's what Germany is going to go with, I should say, and then we'll see what I do with the British. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to continue that now. It'll probably take even longer than this. And now, I may abandon it because after this I'll be saving this, so I there's a save point where I can go back. Assuming I make a backup of it, and if I'm just fine, I'm not getting anywhere, I might just say screw it and abandon it. Promise, I don't think you can get out. I don't think you can get out at this point. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can get out at this point because the escape key may not take you back. We shall try it and see if I break the game, because that's a good time to figure out whether that can work. Because then if it doesn't break the game, then I will just try it. I'll try going as far as I can, because it's getting a bit late, and probably won't be able to finish it off. But at least I might learn something about what I might do next time. Because then I would just continue it tomorrow, because that would be in. I have to play the play by email turn. All right, so I'm gonna go with that. Breaking from tradition, not getting the full company. Feeling like it's a little weaker than I'm used to, but I've provided a bit more for what would normally be the weaker flank. So actually, the weaker flank may be stronger now. I don't know. Could be. It could be. Of course, the mortars are not in. They're kept in the rear areas. They don't go in the attack. And Kubelwagen could be useful anywhere, I guess. Probably helping these guys, because they might need extra machine gun. But the mobility of it is what's really important. So I really need to find ways to get inexpensive mobile units. Yeah, the infantry are great for holding ground, but it takes them forever to get there, right? And so if you can't hold the ground, if you can't get there fast enough, then it might not be. It might not be. They've got nothing to do. Then they got to actually attack, and that's fine. I mean that the infantry are good at that as well. They're just a little bit vulnerable on an open map when they're doing that. All right, we're gonna go with that. Done. Okay, we'll put that in slot 12. Actually call the solo number 1. All right, so now